Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to an episode of Change Starts with Ohio. We're with Frank P. Wood, who's been frequently on our show. He is talking about his case of innocence. Welcome, Frank.
Hey, Jim. Good evening. Thanks for having me back.
Sure.
Hey, Jim. Go ahead. We pretty much wrapped up the felony one portion of my case. And last week, we started in on the felony three portion, which is, so people know, it's a bogus allegation of a gross sexual imposition. And Detective Mark Kohler, formerly of the Medina City Police Department, investigated this portion of my case.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
So people know two things. Twice he testified he knew he was operating outside of his jurisdiction.
Right.
And number two, his investigation of both my homes, computers, everything, yielded absolutely nothing. I want to make that clear because I proved it with his own police report and the transcripts on my website. So everyone stays refreshed. Good evening. Jim and I have been talking about the state of Ohio versus Frank P. Wood. That's me, another innocent man in prison. Medina County case number 05CR0365. And we've been also discussing a book, which is also an affidavit that I had assembled called A Blueprint for Wrongful Imprisonment. You can download it for free in 9 consecutive Google files. Cloud files, I apologize. And from www.freefrankpwood.com. And you can follow a lot of my postings and updates on Free Frank P. Wood and Facebook. And one more thing, Jim, so everyone knows, hey, everything we're discussing is state, court, and public records. And everything is verified by affidavit, and none of my affidavits have gone contested by the state in any legal proceedings. As because the evidence I'm presenting of proof of my innocence, proof of my setup, it's all their evidence.
Right.
Okay, that's why nobody comes forward to challenge me. I want to make that clear. Now, last week, Jim, you and I, we started on chapter 25 out of my book called Pictures of Pictures, where Detective Kohler illegally entered my home on Gateway Lane in Medina Township, Ohio. Okay, he took all these alleged pictures and said they were in a locked briefcase. No, they were in a Pepperidge Farm cardboard gift box.
Right.
All the pictures are on.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
This disc is in possession of attorney Ronald R. Stanley in Medina. All the pictures pertaining to the case that were of his bogus allegations are in my book, printed as Exhibit 33.
Right.
We hid nothing. And the funny thing is, Detective Kohler was even foolish enough to actually photograph the Pepperidge Farm cardboard box that the pictures were in, with pictures in the box. He actually took a photograph of this, and then he lied to the jury about it and never showed these pictures.
Right.
And if you recall last week, Prosecutor Eisenhower, she knew what was going on. She helped him. And over the next couple phone calls or times we get together, I'm going to show you how Judge Christopher J. Collier, who's still on the bench, was also involved in that. He knew exactly what was going on, and he made sure they got their conviction. Now, going a little further, I got a couple pages here I got to skim to give you data. That way I don't, cloud too much. Okay, let's see here. When a spouse, and remember, I studied this. I also studied when I was home out on bond, FBI profiles, investigative techniques, what was going on, why were they not questioning people that I knew they should be questioning, okay? Now, when a spouse suddenly dies, Jim, they automatically investigate the surviving spouse for motive and foul play, okay? Why? Because motive establishes probable cause. All these people had motives to get rid of me. I knew their family secrets. I was a danger and a threat to them. That's why I became the scapegoat by a matter of convenience and logical choice. Now, especially, this really counts, Jim, especially in the sex case, and, one involving young children. You always, please, God is my witness, you always start by investigating immediate family. And in my book, I broke down between paragraphs 456 and 472 something called the 10th man rule. Okay? I use this philosophy to reverse engineer every element of my wrongful conviction. I show people how these cases in my book should be investigated, how to reverse engineer their wrongful conviction, how to investigate them, and I also show you people out there who are listening the laws that apply. Okay? I didn't do this just for me. Okay? This is too many people in prison that do not need to be here.
Right.
Now let's see here. Because, Jim, this is interesting. In a rape case, it's really common knowledge to look into those who knew the victim, who were in long-term positions of trust, okay, like positions of privacy, familiarity, okay? And if you recall in a previous phone call, we discussed another chapter about how I lacked that special knowledge and access to the alleged felony one victim. And I showed you that Scott Sadowski, he had that long-term position of trust, easy access, okay?
Right.
And we're going to get into the felony 3 and Uncle Ryan Spencer, who sexually abused the girl that we're talking about in the felony 3. Her initials are KS, and she is the daughter of my former wife, Robin Spencer Spielman. Okay? Now, this goes on and on, so I'm going to keep going forward here.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
And I think we talked briefly how a juror believes he is there to put the bad guy in prison. We discussed Raymond Towler. He was exonerated of a double child rape.
Yeah, I know him very well.
Yep, back in 2010. Now, and this is what's funny because Judge Collier declared my jury to be cynical on record. He should have dismissed the jury, but he knew how to use that jury. And we'll get to the jury when we're ready.
Right.
Now, in any business management class, even in Business Management 240, okay, they teach you that 68% of the population will do as they're told. That's why we have one president.
Right.
That's why we have a boss of a company. Some people are meant to lead. Some follow. Some are intermediaries. Okay? That's just human nature. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? It's just the way things are. Now, with that said, I want to make this clear because I'm still in the same chapter. In her opening and closing statements to the jury,
Right.
former Assistant Prosecutor Ed Eisenhower, this is what she told the jury. You will find him guilty. That's transcript page 38, line 13 through 24.
Right.
Then she told the jury, you will find him guilty on both counts. Transcript page 526, line 17 through 18. You know what the problem with that is, Jim?
What?
She never told the jury, we're here to find the truth.
Wow.
Think about it. Right off the rip, they're going to find him guilty and send him to prison. The jury said, okay, let's go. No one was allowed to testify on my behalf. Attorney Green failed to subpoena a single witness in my favor and refused to let me testify. So the trial became a witch hunt. Basically, I got dunked and I couldn't swim, so I sank, so I got burned at the stake.
Right.
That's how it went, brother. That's exactly how it goes because under the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution, the latter half of Section 1, this is slavery for profit. They made their money. Now, that's going to be a whole new series of phone calls when we get there.
Uh-huh.
But still, I'd like to go forward with this right here because this is incredible. pages. I want to make sure I'm giving you exact information. So this allows me to go to the next page, which is, we're going to get a little more exciting here. Now keep in mind, Detective Kohler never interviewed me. No one that testified on behalf of the state, Dr. Leger, Children's Services, Detective Kohler, the prosecutor, no one interviewed me. I was not even brought before a grand jury to see if the indictment was going to be valid. Nobody wanted to know what I had to say. Is that not at least a little suspicious?
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's see here. I want you to know that these pictures were made part of the trial record after my trial. Okay? Just like the calendar for October of 2004. None of this was shown to the jury, but it was made part of the record in the courthouse after my trial. Okay? The jury never saw the pictures because they knew they were lying. That's why. If you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. And that's how it went. Okay? That's axiomatic in a court of law these days. So now, this was to create an illusion, to make it look like I had a fair trial. It's like, oh, look, the pictures were there. He had a fair trial. No, I didn't. Come now. Oh, good Lord. So let's see here. Also, too, I want to say this. My family photos should have been kept out of this, Mark Kohler. And I want you to know, if you ever hear this, that was very bad manners. That was bad manners, Mark. I'm making that clear. Now, here's where Detective Kohler lied again about the pictures. And I'm citing the transcripts. Okay? I'm also... No, I apologize. I am citing... Okay. Ron Stanley got a hold of a 29-page police report that Detective Kohler assembled. Okay? You with me?
Yes.
Now, out of those pages, I kept the ones that were pertinent directly to the allegations. I either blacked out or whited out all the bullshit and left the key elements that people needed to pay attention to because they like to build a case. Real or not real. They don't care. And this is from his police report, which is Exhibit 4 in my book. This is from page 13.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Oh, I hate that little 1 minute ticker, Jim.
You got to call her back? You call him back?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You're kidding? I'm having a good time. We're going to keep going.
Okay.
I'll call you right back, bro.
Okay, brother.
Thank you for using...
Okay, that's Frank P. Wood, everyone. He's incarcerated at Richland Correctional. He's an innocent man. While we have this free time, please check out our website www.changestartswithusohio.org. Again, that is www.changestartswithusohio.org. And, of course, if you want to send us an email, please send it to changestartswithusohio@gmail.com. changestartswithusohio@gmail.com. And Frank P. Wood will be calling back very shortly. Here he is now.
Hello, this is a call from
Frank Wood.
an inmate at the Richland Correctional Institution. To hear your payment options, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. To prevent calls from this facility, press 9. Hello, this is a call from
Frank Wood.
Won't let me accept it.
an inmate at the Richland Correctional Institution. To hear your payment options, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. To prevent calls from this facility, press 9. Please note that your account and any transactions you complete with GTL or any...
That's unusual. He always calls collect, and I couldn't even accept it because of my phone carrier. But let's hope he calls back in a minute and see if we can get him on. And I'm hoping he can finish this. If not, we'll get him on another time. But it's so sad to see these innocent men and the wrongfully convicted sit in prison behind bars. Those wrongfully convicted way over the time they should have, and those that are totally innocent anytime. And we need to get the message out. We need to get it out. We need to, help these people. That's one reason we're raising money right now. Let's see this go through now.
Hello. This is a prepaid debt. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Yeah, the first call, it would not let me accept it. It said I had to pay for it.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
But anyhow, so everyone knows, hey, this is Frank Wood. We're back. Today is 12/17/20, and we're pushing forward because this is an exoneration that must happen. This is an insolent injustice that must be set right. Now, in Detective Kohler's police report, it never made it to the grand jury. I mean, never made it to the jury. The trial jury is your pettit jury. He said, and I'm quoting him from Exhibit 4 of my book, page 13, numerous pictures of children were found throughout the office and kitchen area, many of which were of KS. I photographed the pictures. Wait a minute. Hold it. I bought that house on Gateway Lane to restore and sell. I had contractors, accountants.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Employees, friends, material suppliers in that house 5 to 6 days a week. Okay? There was no elaborate display of pictures in the house. Okay? I was doing work in every room, from plumbing to roofing to drywall. Okay? Now, he says first of all, I did not turn the house into a sadistic shrine to pine over some young girl. Okay? That's twisted for him to do this. And I'm going to keep going on this issue here. He said he photographed the pictures. Okay. There are no pictures on the disc of this elaborate display that he's lying about in his police report. Think about it, Mark. That's bad manners. You lied again. Now, here's the worst part, Jim. He presented this lie to the grand jury, and I never knew it. I never knew. Until what? 2 years ago? 3 years ago? Yeah, 2017, I got this police report. Okay? I never knew. So, this man is flat out, Mark Kohler is not a good man. Therefore, he lied under affidavit and under oath, under Criminal Rule 4 when he went before the grand jury. My indictment is hereby void. It was obtained under 2921, I think it's 25 or 52 of the Ohio Revised Code. And the name of the Revised Code, so people know, is called this. And I quote, using sham legal process. And I broke the whole thing down in my book. And I guarantee if there's an innocent man or woman in prison, their indictment is called a sham indictment. It's bogus. Okay? So these people lied everywhere. And if you recall, the indictment and the bill of particulars do not even state the location of an alleged crime scene.
Right.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
So, like I'm not sure if you heard me on that. Like I said, oh my goodness, this is so much in my head. Terribly sorry, Jim.
That's okay.
Now, like I said, Detective Kohler under Criminal Rule 4 had to present an affidavit to secure an indictment with the prosecutor under Criminal Rule 4 to the grand jury. And I want to say this, and this is from the book, In the Heart of the Sea. A liar's word is worthless, even on paper. Detective Kohler has no character, no integrity. He's done. He has no credibility left in this case. He lied under oath. He lied to the grand jury. He lied to the jury during trial. He hid things. And he operated outside of his jurisdiction. I mean, really, what's left of this case, Jim? And yet there's more to tell, more to share, more to reveal. Because this is what they do. And I'm not going to stop. I'm either going to drop dead on this phone or I'm coming home. Now, let's see here. Oh, there's just so much here. Okay. Now, remember, this is pertaining specifically to the alleged felony 3. On June 17th, 2005, Detective Kohler met with social worker David A. Madridge, Madgerich, to interview my former wife, Robin, and her daughter at Job and Family Services. Kohler admitted this under testimony, transcript page 445 through 46. However, Robin's testimony is a little different than Detective Kohler's.
Right.
Okay. Robin said both gentlemen there at Children's Services and Detective Kohler interviewed myself, KS, and one of my other children. Wait a minute. Why did Detective Kohler fail to mention the other gentlemen's names? Why did neither of these Children's Services experts testify? Any ideas? Where are their reports? Because there was nothing of any significance in my discovery file.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Other than the sham indictments and the useless pictures that he lied about under oath. What's left, Jim? This guy's got nothing. Now, hey, I know I'm probably humiliating a few people, but listen, as a lack of these gentlemen's reports and testimonies leave Detective Kohler's report and testimony further in the lacking, listen, man, this is about to get a whole lot worse for these people, as in humiliating. But he did it to himself.
Yeah. Listen to this. You're live on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, all at once. I showed your video to all of them.
Did you really?
Yeah.
We're on Twitter?
Yep.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Good. And I want to say this out clear. As I am thoroughly disgusted by this all, hey, they can hate me all they want, Jim. They did this to themselves, and I am just a messenger. Now, remember, Job and Family Services, Children's Services elected not to interview me on either allegation. Isn't that interesting? Now, and they elected not to contact me with a letter about KS. That's like really intense. Now, at one point, and here's why, Attorney Green kept telling me that they're having problems with KS, but he gave me her full name, okay? Now, the problem she kept having were transplanted memories. She was having problems keeping me in those false memories and keeping Uncle Ryan out of them. Understand, Uncle Ryan took care of this girl all the way up till we got custody of her. Why didn't he testify? That's interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, let's see here. I'm not going to worry about bothering you with all the American Bar Association standards and the codes of professional responsibility that I broke down in my book. But here, I want to say this to the people that did this to me. This is a quote out of my book that was just published on my Facebook last week. And this is from page 163 in my book, paragraph 532. Respect for the law should be much more than mere platitude. In all actuality, respect for the law should be a religious fervor that connotes a way of life lived in reverent fear of some unknown God. These people fear nothing, Jim. They think they're above the law, that they wield like a petulant child in a new toy. No, the here. This is great. Earlier, I think I mentioned there were 2 pre-trial hearings where Detective Kohler admitted he was operating outside his jurisdiction. Let's see here. The search warrant was illegal. The indictment was illegal. And let's see here. Judge Collier, remember, do you recall that Dr. Suzanne Leger
Yes.
walked in the psych report into Judge Collier's chambers? Okay? And Judge Collier said, there's nothing exculpatory in there. Really? First of all, that was supposed to be collected by the attorneys and the prosecutor and submitted into evidence, okay, and then ruled on in the courtroom. Well, Judge Collier admitted that he had an in-chambers meeting with Detective Kohler on transcript page 7, lines 16 through 18 of my book. Of transcripts, okay? He admitted he had another illegal meeting with a state witness off record and without myself or my lawyers present. Okay? This is how they operated. All right? Court, and I'm going to quote this. Court, state, and cop all knew Kohler should never have been permitted to testify. Just like they knew that if they showed the pictures to the jury, they would have seen the lie behind the deception. Okay? So if they saw the pictures, they would be like, what is this? Well, that's my family. That's what this is.
Right.
So, okay, now, when prosecutor, I'm going to read this from this paragraph. When Prosecutor Eisenhower went to ask Detective Kohler about the search warrant he exercised on my home, Attorney Green asked to approach Judge Collier. Transcript page 488. Attorney Green mentioned a motion to suppress from the pretrial hearings, thus prompting the following dialogue between court, state, and defense. They're going to love this. The court. Why are we talking about this now? What's the point? Eisenhower. There was a briefcase inside the house that contained pictures of little girls. Lots.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Okay, we already proved that's a lie. Now, so Eisenhower just committed fraud upon the court. Okay, and the court, the briefcase was locked. Wait a minute. In chambers, he spoke to Kohler about the lie. So Judge Collier knew everything that was going on. And she goes, And the court, he says, you're seeking to introduce information of that? And Prosecutor Eisenhower said, that's it. The court looked at my lawyer and said, sir. And Mr. Green said this. Well, I believe the search warrant was for the computer, wasn't even within the officer's jurisdiction. And listen to what Judge Collier had to say. This is the part that flipped me out. Yes, I think I see the problem. I'm going to overrule the objection. We're going to continue with the examination. The problem was, like I said, there were no pictures of a criminal activity. He lied under oath, and Judge Collier was protecting the state witness that he met with in chambers prior to trial without me or my lawyer. Do you see what happened? This whole trial is thrown out. But the higher courts don't care. That's why I need a law firm big enough to push this forward. Okay? Now, this was just horrifying, man. So anyhow, that's what happened with that part. Let's see here. I'm looking. I want to make sure I'm giving you everything in order. He admitted that. Let's see here. He admitted that his illegal search was illegal, and he had no consent from me to enter my home. Okay.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Transcript page 452. Now, Jim, I know we only got a minute left, I'll give you a call in a couple days. We can press on with this subject
Okay.
next week.
Yeah, give everybody your contact information.
Hey, Frank P. Wood. My prison number is 504-107. You can look me up on Facebook. You can go to my website and you can hit contact information. You'll get Jim's information, my information, lawyer's information, and you're welcome to email me, write me with questions, anything you got to say, I'm going to listen. Okay? I want to thank everyone for listening, Jim, and I do thank you for your time and helping us advocate this cause.
Sure thing, brother. Talk to you in a few days.
Have a good night.
You too. That was Frank P. Wood. He's incarcerated at Richland. He gave you his contact information. He is willing to answer any questions you may have. Good night, everyone.